So, as you've probably heard, there's been Sims updates, and one of the features that people are most excited about is the new curved wall feature. So long story short, some rooms have been added to this little wall menu that have rounded walls in different sizes. Unfortunately, as can be expected at this point, it doesn't quite work. And today I want to show you some of the ways that it doesn't work and also talk about the rest of the game update and why it might not be wise to update your game right now. Let's start with the curved walls, shall we? As you can imagine, the curved walls kind of mean that objects around them have to behave a little bit differently. So if you have a curved wall and you give it a foundation like this one, this is what happens when you cover a large area on the exterior side with floors. It kind of leaves a gap. Now you can fill up that gap, technically, but then this happens. I just don't understand how this happens. I understand that games are difficult to make and bugs will inevitably happen. There's so many little details and elements to a game like this. There's no way to playtest everything. There's always gonna be things that you miss. But at this point, does no one playtest this game? This is like the most common situation ever. Placing a floor next to a wall. That should have just been noticed in the first round of playtesting. So another thing that doesn't really work is when you get too close to the walls, furniture doesn't really want to exist anymore. I'm trying to place this kitchen and it has to snap into place and it just doesn't want to. So I figured out that it does work when you're viewing it from above. So if you press T on your keyboard, you can place items. If you're on a different angle though, it doesn't want to. That does mean that the default Sims 4 camera, this just doesn't work. Like I can literally not select that counter. It will not let me. This is the default camera angle and it doesn't work on the default camera angle. Again, does no one play this game? Has no one tried to build a house with curved walls before? So I've removed all curved walls from this lot just to check if the issue also happens when the walls are straight. And it seems to be working fine. I can place this counter anywhere I'd like in this corner from any angle. So it's really the curved walls that are making the game confused as to where I'm holding my mouse, like where I'm trying to place items. Obviously not every glitch happens in every game, but it just seems to not be ready for release, which at this point I don't really understand why they even released curved walls. It was a feature that people were looking forward to, but it wasn't essential for the high school years pack, so I don't really understand why this wasn't released at a later point when they were more confident in the curved walls actually working, especially because the base game update, and this also includes other things such as the new sexuality options, which I am so happy they added to the game. That was a really necessary update. And body hair and the new wants and fears system. Super happy they added that to the game, but it seems to have completely broken the game to a point where it's unplayable. So the Sims team has tweeted, "Hey Simmers, we are currently investigating instances involving Sims auto-aging up in saves using the short or long lifespan. We recommend temporarily playing in or creating new saves with the default normal lifespan as we work towards the solution." So apparently Sims are auto-aging up, which can obviously completely ruin someone's save file if you spend hours and hours setting up a nice family or playing a legacy style challenge and your Sims are just aging up randomly and rapidly. That is just the game being broken, and to not be able to use one of the most basic features that a lot of people are already using, that seems a bit too broken to be released to the public. And on top of that, the Sims team hasn't officially mentioned this one, but there's been instances with the new wants and fears system where Sims get one of these bubbles stating that they want to date their family members, parents, siblings, anything like that. So again, this hasn't been mentioned by the Sims team themselves, but I've seen it circling around on Twitter. It hasn't happened to me, but that's also not a great way to launch a feature and something that really should not have been released to the public. And it's also really unfortunate because me and many other Simmers were really excited before the high school year's release. And after we've been burned by the whole disaster that was My Wedding Stories, it's kind of unfortunate that another highly anticipated pack is currently running in a version of the game that is almost unplayable. So yeah, I recommend not updating your game if you can. And if you are gonna update your game, please make a backup of all of your save files so you can at least salvage them if your Sims do happen to age up or any other thing happens that will ruin your save file.